Thugs harassed young cashier. After closing, not knowing the bikers were still inside the store, Mara Lewis locked convenience store doors at midnight, missed 3 men approaching from parking lot. They forced entry before she secured deadbolt, cornered her against counter. She didn't know 6 Hells Angels were finishing coffee in back aisle. Sometimes protection hides in unexpected places. Quick Stop Convenience sat on Highway 50 outside Sacramento, 24-hour operation until owner Dave Martinez reduced hours to midnight closing after 3 robberies in 6 months. Saturday night, 11:55 p.m., Mara Lewis cleaned counters, counted register, prepared to close a loan like she'd done 100 times before. Fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. Security camera blinked in corner. Parking lot was empty, except for 6 Harleys near building side Hells Angels Oakland who'd stopped for coffee, supplies, bathroom break during long ride home from charity event. They were browsing quietly, giving young cashiers space to finish closing duties. None of them knew 3 men had been watching store for hours, waiting for closing time, for moment girl would be alone. Mara Lewis was 19, community college student working graveyard shifts to pay tuition and help mother with rent after father had abandoned family 2 years ago. Smart, determined, exhausted balancing full course load with 30-hour work weeks, sleeping 4 hours nightly, surviving on coffee and determination. She'd taken quick stop job because midnight shift paid extra $1 per hour and didn't conflict with morning classes. Working alone never bothered her. Dave had installed security measures, cameras, panic button, cash drop safe limiting register money to $50, signs announcing clerk cannot access safe, deterring potential robbers. State law required 2 employees during overnight hours, but Dave ignored it cheaper to risk fines than pay second worker. So Mara worked alone, vulnerable despite security theater, trusting nothing bad would happen because nothing had happened yet. Tonight would prove that assumption catastrophically wrong, but tonight would also prove that sometimes strangers protect you. Sometimes scary-looking men become heroes. Sometimes being alone means not noticing who's actually there. 11:58 p.m., Mara locked front doors. Didn't see 3 men, Jason Torres, Mike Chen, Kevin Drake approaching from dark corner of parking lot where they'd been watching. Didn't notice them testing door handle before she secured deadbolt. Didn't hear Jason say to Mike, "Now," before she locks it completely. They rushed door. Jason shoved it open before Mara secured final lock. She stumbled backward. They entered. Door closed behind them. Jason smiled predatory, confident. "Working late, sweetheart? Alone?" Mara's heart stopped. Panic button was behind counter 10 feet away. Phone was in back room. 6 Hells Angels were in snack aisle 50 feet away, hidden by shelving, unaware of front door commotion over sound of their own conversation. Jason grabbed Mara's arm, dragged her toward counter. "Open the register, empty the safe, do it quietly, and nobody gets hurt." Day 1, Sunday, 12 a.m. Mara's training kicked in. Comply, don't resist, survive. Register only has $50. I can't access safe. Timer lock. Manager opens at morning. Mike laughed. "We know about timer locks. We also know scared girls find ways to open them. Try harder." "I'm serious. I don't have combination. Only Dave, the owner, can open it." Kevin pulled knife 6-inch blade, serrated edge, designed to intimidate. "Then we take the 50, and you, back room. Teach you what happens to girls working alone at midnight." Terror replaced training. Mara screamed, instinctive, desperate, loud. Jason slapped her. "Shut up. Nobody's here. Nobody's coming. You're alone." But Mara wasn't alone. In back aisle, 6 Hell's Angels heard scream. Conversation stopped. Reed Hammer Carter. Yes, the same Reed from previous stories, assessed situation instantly. Woman scream, male voices, threatening tone. Trouble. Reed signaled brothers, silent approach, assess threat, prepare intervention. 6 bikers moved quietly, trained coordination from decades riding together. They reached end of aisle, saw 3 men cornering teenage cashier, saw a knife, saw terror. Reed made hand signal, surround and intimidate, no violence unless necessary. 6 Hell's Angels emerged from aisles simultaneously, surrounding 3 men before they registered threat. Reed spoke calmly. "Gentlemen, I think you're lost. This store's closed. Time to leave." Jason spun, saw 6 bikers, leather vests, Hell's Angels patches, combined weight probably plumb 400 pounds, combined reputation terrifying. His confidence evaporated. "This isn't your business. We're just threatening teenage girl with knife," Reed interrupted. "That's our business, because we don't tolerate predators, especially cowards who target young women working alone." Mike tried bravado. "There's 3 of us. You want trouble?" Tank 6'6", 280 pounds. Arms like tree trunks stepped forward. "There's 6 of us, and we're Hell's Angels Oakland. You know what that means? Means we've handled bigger threats than 3 convenience store robbers. So here's choice. Leave now peacefully, or leave after we ensure you never threaten women again. Your decision." Kevin looked at knife in his hand, then at 6 bikers watching him. Math was simple. 3 untrained thugs versus 6 motorcycle club members who'd fought wars both literal and figurative. No contest. "We're leaving," Kevin said, dropping knife. "Not yet," Ghost replied. "First apologize to the lady, then police arrive, then you leave in handcuffs." Jason protested. "You can't hold us. That's kidnapping." "It's citizen's arrest," Reed corrected. "California Penal Code 837. Any person may arrest another for crime committed in their presence. We witnessed attempted robbery and assault. We're detaining you for police. Legal. Sit down." 3 men sat, surrounded by bikers. Mara pressed panic button. Police dispatch received alert. Sent units immediately. Reed approached Mara carefully. She was shaking, crying, traumatized. "You okay? They hurt you?" "Jason slapped me, but I'm okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. I didn't know anyone was here. I thought I was alone." "You're never as alone as you think," Reed said gently. "We were finishing coffee in back aisle. Heard you scream. Rest was instinct, protect people who need protecting." Police arrived within 6 minutes. Quick Stop had been robbed multiple times, so location was flagged for priority response. Officers, Sergeant Martinez and Officer Williams, both from previous stories, recognized Reed immediately. "Hammer," Martinez said with respect. "You called this in?" "Witnessed attempted robbery. 3 suspects cornered cashier, threatened her with knife, demanded money. We intervened. They're yours." Martinez assessed scene. 3 nervous men surrounded by 6 calm bikers. Terrified teenage cashier, knife on counter, security camera recording everything. "Miss, you want to press charges?" "Yes," Mara said firmly. "They threatened me. Said they'd take me to back room. I want them arrested." 3 men were arrested, attempted robbery, assault, criminal threats. Kevin's knife connected him to 2 previous Quick Stop robberies through forensic evidence. By Monday morning, police would identify Jason and Mike as members of local gang targeting convenience stores across Sacramento. But those were consequences for later. Tonight, Mara just wanted to go home, and 6 bikers who'd stopped for coffee had saved her life through coincidental timing. Day 2 would reveal it wasn't coincidence. Reed and brothers had been watching Quick Stop for weeks, concerned about young woman working alone, waiting for night predators would strike. Sometimes protection hides in unexpected places. Sometimes it hides deliberately. Day 1, Sunday, 1:00 a.m. After police left with suspects, Reed stayed while Mara finished closing. You shouldn't work alone. State law requires 2 employees overnight, owners violating regulations. I know, but Dave says he can't afford second person. I need this job. I can't quit. Then we make it safer. Starting tonight, Hell's Angels will have presence here during your shifts. Rotating members. We'll buy coffee, browse, provide deterrent. Won't cost owner anything except coffee we're purchasing anyway. Mara was confused. Why would you do that? You don't know me. Because my daughter worked convenience store graveyard shift 3 years ago. Store in Oakland. She was working alone when 2 men came in with guns. She complied, gave them money. They shot her anyway. She survived, but she'll never work retail again. PTSD too severe, and I promised myself, never again. Never watch another young woman work alone in vulnerable situation when simple presence could protect her. Mara cried gratitude, relief, understanding. I'm sorry about your daughter, and thank you for protecting me. No thanks needed. This is what we do. Protect vulnerable people from predators who think nobody's watching. Day 2, Monday. News covered story. Hell's Angels stop convenience store robbery, save cashier. Mara was interviewed. I thought I was alone. I was terrified. Then 6 bikers appeared and everything changed. They saved my life. Dave Martinez, store owner, received visit from State Labor Board inspector. Mr. Martinez, you've been operating graveyard shift with single employee, violating California regulation requiring 2 workers between midnight and 5 a.m. This violation put your employee in danger. You're facing $25,000 fine and potential criminal charges for willful endangerment. Dave panicked. I can't afford fine or second employee. I'll have to close overnight. Inspector replied, or you accept volunteer security. Hell's Angels Oakland has offered to provide overnight presence during graveyard shifts. No cost to you. They buy coffee, provide deterrent, ensure compliance by their presence constituting second person under regulation. Arrangements unusual, but legal. Your choice. Pay fine and hire employee or accept Hell's Angels offer. Dave accepted immediately, liability eliminated, problem solved, cost 0, except coffee. Hell's Angels paid for anyway. Day 3, Tuesday evening. Reed organized rotating Hell's Angels presence. 2 members nightly, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m., covering dangerous hours when most convenience store robberies occurred. Christina, from previous stories, helped formalize arrangement written agreement between Hell's Angels Oakland and Quick Stop Convenience establishing terms. Bikers would provide security presence, purchase minimum $20 merchandise nightly, avoid intimidating customers, coordinate with police. But Tuesday night brought complication. Jason Torres's brother Carlos arrived at Quick Stop with 5 gang members, demanding Mara drop charges. My brother's looking at 10 years. You withdraw statement, we leave you alone. You testify, we make your life hell. 2 Hell's Angels, Ghost and Tank, were present. Ghost stepped forward. She's testifying, and if you threaten her again, you're dealing with entire Hell's Angels Oakland chapter. That's 150 members who protect their own, and Mara's under our protection now. Permanently leave. Carlos tried intimidation. You can't protect her forever. We know where she lives, where her mother lives, where she goes to school. Tank grabbed Carlos's shirt, lifted him off ground effortlessly. Listen carefully. You threaten this girl or her family, we respond, not with words, with action that ensures you never threaten anyone again. Hell's Angels has connections with police, FBI, judges, lawyers. We've taken down entire gangs for less than what you just said. Your brother's going to prison. Accept it. Move on or join him. Your choice. Carlos was released. He and his crew left. But message was clear. Charges against Jason meant war between Carlos's gang and Hell's Angels. And Mara was caught in middle. Testifying meant protection, but also escalation. Not testifying meant freedom from conflict, but also allowing predators to avoid consequences. Wednesday morning, Mara received call from District Attorney Christina Ramirez, different Christina prosecutor. Miss Lewis, we need your testimony to convict 3 men who've robbed 6 convenience stores, assaulted 4 cashiers, and terrorized working women across Sacramento. But I understand you've been threatened. If you're too scared to testify, I understand. Your safety matters more than conviction. Mara thought about Reed's daughter shot, even after complying, traumatized forever. Thought about 6 other cashiers these men had victimized. Thought about every young woman working alone, vulnerable, hoping predators would pass them by. I'll testify, Mara said, and I'll accept Hell's Angels' protection, because someone has to stop these men. Might as well be me. Wednesday evening, Carlos escalated, firebombed Mara's mother's car, spray-painted threats on their apartment. Police couldn't provide 24/7 protection, budget constraints, higher priorities. But Hell's Angels could and would. Day 4 would test whether Motorcycle Club could protect one teenage girl from gang determined to silence her. Sometimes protection hides in unexpected places. Sometimes it comes wearing leather patches and riding Harleys, proving that heroes don't always look heroic until moment they're needed most. Day 4. Wednesday night, Reed called emergency club meeting. Carlos Torres's gang has threatened Mara Lewis and her family. Car firebombed, apartment vandalized. Police can't provide adequate protection. We need comprehensive security plan until trial ends. Who's in? 40 hands raised. Entire Oakland chapter volunteering. Mac, chapter president, approved plan. Rotating security at Mara's apartment. 2 members 24/7. Escort to college classes. Ghost volunteered, posing as classmate. Continued quick stop presence and coordination with police, documenting every threat for additional charges against Carlos. But Wednesday night, 11 p.m., Carlos sent message. 5 gang members arrived at Quick Stop while Mara worked. Not to rob, to intimidate. They browsed aisles, stared at Mara, touched merchandise menacingly, whispered threats loud enough for her to hear, but quiet enough cameras wouldn't capture clearly. Pretty girl like you shouldn't work dangerous job. Accidents happen to people who talk too much. Your mom lives on Maple Street, right? Nice neighborhood. Be shame if something happened. 2 Hell's Angels were present, Viper and Hawk. But 5-on-2 was risky odds, especially in convenience store where civilian customers could be endangered if violence erupted. Viper texted Reed, "Need backup?" Carlos sent 5 guys, threatening Mara, situation escalating. Within 15 minutes, 20 Hell's Angels arrived, overwhelming force that shifted power dynamic instantly. They didn't enter immediately. They positioned motorcycles surrounding Quick Stop, visible through windows, making clear Mara wasn't protected by two bikers. She was protected by an entire chapter. Carlos's gang members saw motorcycles, recognized patches, understood message. They left slinking away like wolves, realizing prey had pack protection. But Carlos wasn't finished. Thursday morning, he appeared at Mara's college, Sacramento Community College, 9 a.m. psychology class. He sat behind her, whispered throughout lecture, "You can't hide behind bikers forever. Classes end. Protection ends. Then we're alone, and I'll finish what my brother started." Mara was terrified class was public space. Campus security couldn't remove Carlos for sitting quietly, and Professor was oblivious to whispered threats. Ghost was outside. Bikers couldn't attend classes. So Mara endured hours of psychological torture imagining what "finish what my brother started" meant. After class, Ghost saw Mara shaking. "What happened?" "Carlos was in my class. He threatened me. Kept saying protection won't last forever, that eventually we'll be alone." Ghost's expression hardened. "He's right that we can't protect you forever, but he's wrong thinking you'll ever be alone with him. We're changing approach. No more defensive security. Time for offensive strategy. We make Carlos understand threatening you costs him more than testifying costs his brother. Read approved plan. Document every Carlos threat. Coordinate with FBI, Gang Violence Plus, witness intimidation, federal charges, and make Carlos's life so uncomfortable through legal pressure that harassing Mara became too expensive to continue. Day 4, Thursday evening, FBI Office Agent Sarah Park reviewed evidence. 6 convenience store robberies, 4 assaults, witness intimidation through threats and property destruction, firebombing, gang activity spanning multiple counties. This is federal case under Hobbs Act interfering with commerce through robbery and extortion. We can charge Carlos Torres, his gang, and brother Jason under RICO statutes, but we need Miss Lewis's testimony. Mara, sitting beside Reed and Christina, prosecutor, nodded. "I'll testify, but I need protection. Carlos said he'll hurt my family." "Witness protection program," Agent Park offered. "You and your mother relocate, new identities, federal protection until trial ends and gangs dismantled." Mara looked at Reed. "What do you think?" Reed considered. "Witness protection is safest long-term solution, but it means leaving Sacramento, leaving college, leaving life you've built. Alternative, we intensify security, you testify, and FBI prosecutes Carlos and gang under federal charges carrying 20-plus year sentences. Once they're imprisoned, threat ends, but that requires months of living under protection. Your choice." Mara thought about mother's destroyed car, vandalized apartment, Carlos's whispered threats. Thought about 6 other cashiers these men had victimized. Thought about every woman who'd worked alone and been terrorized by predators who thought they were untouchable. "I'll stay," Mara decided. "I'll testify. I'll accept your protection, because running means they win. Testifying means they lose. And I'm tired of men like them winning while women like us lose. Time to change that pattern." Friday would bring trial. Friday would test whether 19-year-old Cashier could withstand cross-examination designed to break her, whether Hell's Angels could provide security against gang determined to silence her, whether justice system could protect vulnerable witness from violent retaliation. Sometimes protection hides in unexpected places. Sometimes it stands visible, daring predators to try harder, proving that courage combined with community defeats cowardice every time. Day 5, Friday, trial. Federal courthouse was fortress, metal detectors, armed marshals, secured entrances. 20 Hells Angels sat in gallery visible support for Mara, deterrent for Carlos's gang. 5 members attended, hoping their presence would intimidate witness. Mara testified 3 hours describing attempted robbery, threats, knife, terror she'd felt, subsequent intimidation. Defense attorney tried breaking her. "Miss Lewis, isn't it true you fabricated this robbery for attention? That you knew these Hells Angels would protect you if you claimed victimization?" "No," Mara replied firmly. "Security cameras recorded everything. Police found knife with Kevin's fingerprints. These men threatened me, and Hells Angels happened to be in store. I didn't know them before that night. They protected me because it was right thing to do, not because I asked them to." Defense showed convenience store robbery statistics. California has 15,000 convenience stores. There are 3,000 robberies annually. That's 1 robbery per 5 stores yearly. Odds of Quick Stop being targeted were low. Yet Miss Lewis claims 3 men just happened to target her store on night 6. Hells Angels just happened to be present. Isn't it more likely this was staged? That Miss Lewis and Hells Angels orchestrated this for publicity? Reed stood in gallery. "Your Honor, may I address this?" "You're not witness," Judge Anderson replied. "I am now," Reed said. "Call me as witness. I'll explain why we were at Quick Stop that night." Prosecutor consulted with Mara, called Reed to stand. He testified, "My daughter was shot during convenience store robbery 3 years ago. She survived but lives with PTSD. I started monitoring vulnerable stores, young women working alone, inadequate security, violation of state regulations requiring 2 employees. Quick Stop fit pattern. I'd visited weekly for 2 months, building rapport with Mara, ensuring our presence deterred potential robberies. That night, we were finishing coffee when 3 men forced entry. We intervened. That's not staged. That's prepared protection." Defense tried undermining Reed. "So you admit to stalking Quick Stop? To positioning yourself there deliberately?" "I admit to providing security that store owner failed to provide and that state regulations required. I admit to protecting vulnerable worker from predictable danger. That's not stalking, that's crime prevention." Jury deliberated 4 hours. Verdict: guilty on all counts: robbery, assault, criminal threats, witness intimidation. Carlos Torres: guilty of witness intimidation, arson, assault. Combined, Torres brothers face 35 years federal prison. Gang members received sentences ranging from 10-20 years. Judge Anderson addressed courtroom. "This case demonstrates what happens when predators target vulnerable workers and community members intervene. Hells Angels Oakland provided security this young woman's employer should have provided. Their intervention saved her life and led to prosecution of violent criminal enterprise. That's not vigilantism, that's civic duty." Mara cried relief, exhaustion, gratitude. Reed hugged her. "You did it. You testified. You helped take down an entire gang. You're safe now." "Because of you," Mara replied, "because 6 strangers protected me when I thought I was alone." Day 5, Friday evening. Quick Stop, Hells Angels organized celebration at Quick Stop. 30 members, Mara's mother, college classmates, police officers who'd supported investigation. Dave Martinez provided food, drinks, grateful his employee was safe and his store was now famous for right reasons. Mac presented Mara with gift. Hells Angels jacket, not full member vest, but supporter jacket with Honorary Sister, Hells Angels Oakland, embroidered on back. You demonstrated courage under pressure. You testified despite threats. You helped dismantle criminal organization. That deserves recognition. Your family now, Mara, protected forever. Mara wore jacket proudly. For first time since attempted robbery, she felt safe. Not because threats were gone. Prison didn't guarantee safety. But because she had community people who'd shown up when she needed them, who'd protected her without asking for anything in return, who'd proven that heroes exist even in cynical world. Sergeant Martinez approached Reed. Hammer, what you did monitoring Quick Stop, positioning yourself as deterrent, intervening when threat materialized, that's exactly what community policing should look like. Have you considered formalizing this? Hells Angels partnering with Sacramento PD to provide convenience store security? Reed considered. We're motorcycle club, not security company. But protecting vulnerable workers aligns with our values. Let's discuss parameters. Which stores need coverage, what authority we'd have, how we'd coordinate with police. Could be modeled for other cities. 2 months later, Hells Angels Community Watch program launched, rotating members providing security presence at vulnerable convenience stores across Sacramento. Crime at participating stores dropped 60%. Cashiers working alone felt safer. Predators learned prey had protectors. Mara returned to graveyard shifts, but now she worked alongside Hells Angels Presence 2 members nightly, buying coffee, providing deterrent, proving that sometimes protection hides in unexpected places. And sometimes it stops hiding and stands visible, daring danger to try approaching, ensuring vulnerable workers never face threats alone. Sometimes heroes wear leather. Sometimes they drink bad convenience store coffee at midnight. Sometimes they're finishing snacks in back aisle when predators enter. And sometimes being in right place at right time isn't coincidence, but deliberate choice to protect people who need protecting. That's what community means. That's what courage looks like. That's why Mara Lewis wears honorary jacket proudly, knowing that night she thought she was alone. She actually had 6 guardians she didn't know were watching. Hells Angels Community Watch expanded to 15 stores within 6 months, protecting 23 graveyard shift workers, preventing 12 attempted robberies, creating model adopted by motorcycle clubs across California. Mara graduated community college with honors, transferred to UC Davis studying criminal justice, planning career as victim advocate. Her mother quit second job. Stress from threats had taken toll, but security from Hells Angels allowed healing. Torres brothers served full sentences. Carlos died in prison fight 3 years into sentence. Dave Martinez hired second employee for graveyard shifts, complying with regulations. Quick Stop became model for convenience store security, featured in training materials nationwide. Reed's daughter visited Mara, grateful her father's protection of stranger-honored trauma she'd survived. 10 years later, Mara, at 29, directed California Convenience Store Workers Alliance nonprofit, providing security resources, legal support, trauma counseling for retail workers facing violence. She lobbied successfully for stricter 2-employee requirements, mandatory security measures, harsher penalties for convenience store crimes. Reed, at 63, still rode, still protected vulnerable workers. Sometimes protection hides in unexpected places, back aisles, coffee cups, motorcycle clubs buying snacks. Sometimes heroes don't announce presence until needed. Sometimes being alone means not noticing who's actually there, watching, ready to intervene when predators strike. Sometimes, convenience store coffee saves lives.